My name is Keith Andrew, and today it's episode 786. That's right, 786. I'm here with professional actor and writer, Ken Holmes, the one and only Ken Holmes. As a guest, the Keith Andrew Network. Make sure to like and subscribe to Ken Holmes. He's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the great social medias. So make sure to check that out. The following is brought to you by the Keith Andrew Network. The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are or who you want to be. Prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. Start off with, it's everyone's favorite. Tell me a little bit about yourself when we come back. So the first question I want to ask you is tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you do now.
Well, hey everybody. First of all, thanks so much for having me on. My name's Ken Holmes. I'm an actor, screenwriter, filmmaker, independent filmmaker. I've been acting since I was about 12 years old. I've actually been acting all my life, but I really got into it at 12 because I auditioned for a college production of Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. And I just had a blast. I got a child's role. I played a little page in it. And like acting with the college students was just like, for me at 12, it was like acting on Broadway. Like I was just thrilled. It was just an absolute honor. And I got the bug. Like I loved everything about theater. Like I loved the smell of the stage, the auditorium, everything. And I just started doing community theater, college plays if they ever needed a kid actor again. And I've been doing it ever since, but I got into film a little bit later. Mostly I did some like student movies in college and also miscellaneous extra work. But when I graduated college in 2009, a buddy of mine found an audition post for a horror movie in Baltimore. And so the two of us, we're from Vermont, and the two of us just took a road trip out there and just kind of on a whim auditioned for this horror movie. And we got in, and then I was like, well, this is pretty cool too. Like unlike theater, this is something that lasts, like it's not, theater is kind of like ephemeral. It happens and then it's over. And then film is like, it stays forever, as you know. So that's kind of that got, I guess, two different balls. I got the theater bug first and then the film bug later. So two different balls started rolling there.
No, absolutely. As long as you have the heart and passion for it, and you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Now, the other thing I want to ask you is you mentioned you are also a writer. Have you ever thought about writing books? And how do you feel about ghostwriting a book?
That's actually a really interesting question. I have thought about that. I've thought about ghostwriting and also ghostwriting books, also ghostwriting music, because I'm a poet, in addition to like writing screenplays. And I thought I probably have the knack for writing a song, so like song lyrics. I have thought about it. I've never done it, but I would be interested. I'd be interested in doing it. I think I like studying people and thinking about their voice, and maybe possibly writing in somebody else's voice, because I'm interested in the art of imitation, I guess. And I feel like in a way, ghostwriting is kind of like that, because you're writing in somebody else's voice. So yeah, I would be interested in that. I've never done it though.
Well, if you're interested, look at it like this. A lot of people say I should start writing my book now because it takes a long time. I was thinking, that sounds good. A lot of people say, okay, yeah, go write a book. It sounds all great and wonderful. And then I was thinking, I'm only up to 800. And yes, okay, it's a big accomplishment for someone who's on the spectrum being retarded to do 800 episodes, but it's that good. But then you contradict yourself saying, well, and maybe if I waited till I get 1,000, because in 2 years I'm going to get 1,000 episodes. And I'm like, 1,000 is a solid number. So if I do it then, and then of course, old people are like, yes, wait to 2 years, wait till you have 1,000. You have the story to make. But the biggest thing is, I'm not really a storyteller. And if you're interested, I would love to work with you. Maybe you can write my book for me.
Sure, let's stay in contact about that. I would be interested. Like I said, I've never done anything like that, but it's an undertaking I'm definitely interested in.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you a storyteller?
Yes. That's primarily why I'm in this business. Like, I love telling stories.
Now, let's put you on the spot, not to put you on the spot, but while we're on the subject, how would you describe my story? As you said, you like to use the person's voice and tell the story from, because I wrote a book once and it was god awful, filled with spelling errors and typos. And it was pretty much me bitching and complaining, saying, well, this is what I did in first grade, and this is what I did in second grade. And like, that's not a story. That's not even a book. It's just a diary. So if I would tell you, like, for an example, I don't know, like we would set up a day and you say, well, today's chapter will be about how you did your talk show. And you would ask me questions, and then you would turn those questions into stories. So I guess that would be how you would do it. I'm not a storyteller, so you're the expert.
No, that's how I would do it. And I wouldn't be too worried about how it comes out at first. It's all about making a mess in the beginning. You just got to start telling the story how you know how to tell it. And then later you can get me or somebody else to, whoever, come in and help you kind of shape it. And you can look at it yourself too and be like, oh, maybe what I wrote on page so-and-so should actually be on page 2. Or maybe this thing that I said in the middle, this should actually be the beginning. You start finding stuff, you start looking at the structure of it. And that's where the story kind of starts taking shape. But the way I work, at least, it starts off like a mess. You can't worry about that in the beginning. That's where the editing comes in.
Well, I give you a little example. What my boss said to me a long time ago. He gave me the most simplest project, and it is uncensored, PG-13. He said, Keith, you can't fuck this up. This is you can't fuck it up. It's because it's that simple. And I'm like, I bet you I can. And I didn't do it deliberately to say, okay, I purposely, messed it up. Like I said, PG-13, but it's uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expression, blah, blah, blah. And he told me, this is what you have to do. Here's a button, because I worked at one store. It was a clothing store. Take the stuff out of the box, put sensors on it, put it back in the box. And I did that. And I did there was like 20 boxes. And I did all 20 boxes. And he said, okay, you did a wonderful job. You didn't do the boxes in this far corner, did you? Well, you told me to do all the boxes. I did all the boxes. Those are not even ours. Those have to go to other stores.
Oh.
And he looked at me and said, I don't know what to do with you. He was a nice guy. He was an ass, but he was a nice guy. But I don't know. I kind of get like that. Trying to think of that word. When your mindset and you're focused on that one thing, you say, okay, I want to work. Yeah. And then you realize I just did someone else's work. But okay, whatever. I want the credit. But then you realize, make me that's a story about life. I can make a book about that, all the mistakes I made. But the next question I want to ask you is just everything that you accomplished in your life, being an actor, being a writer, do you have any success stories?
I feel like every day is like a success story. You know, it's just, I'm just so grateful to be here. You know, I've experienced, not to get too dark, but I've experienced my share of, you know, death. And I've realized, you know, how much of a blessing it is just to be here and to be, I mean, in my case, like I'm healthy, I'm alive, and I just feel happy every day. And not only that, but to be able to be doing what I love. I mean, a lot of people can't say they look forward to going to work, and I can say I do. As far as like a more pointed success story, I guess that time that I mentioned in the beginning of our conversation, when I was 12, like I felt like that was, for somebody that age, like I felt like going in there and being the only kid in the room and just like nailing the audition the first time. I felt pretty amazing, and I just wanted to see how much further I could take it. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
No, I agree. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, I'm going to ask you some more acting questions and then pass the show over to you when we come back.
Hi, it's Mimi Chen.
Hi, my name is Ellen George.
It's Shauna Todd.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Hi, I'm Lily Rose Fair.
Hey guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrew's show. He's doing a terrific job. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is brought to you by the X Zone. The X Zone is now on the Keith Andrew Network Extended Library. You can see the very best of my friend H.B. Gibson. Make sure to like and subscribe to his work on the X Zone. Also brought to you by Wife of a Fighter. If you like it, being healthy, wrestling, boxing, all that fun stuff, make sure to check out Wife of the Spider. We also have the very best of professional wrestling now on the Keith Andrew Network. As everyone knows, I interviewed a bunch of professional wrestlers. Now you can see the best of Duke the Junction Grossi, Raven, Chris Harris, all that and so much more on the Keith Andrew Network. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network. Now, the other thing I do want to say is, actually, I just had a brain fart, but I can fix that. But the next, I was gonna do my catchphrase, but I can do that off here. It's fine. So the next question I want to ask you is, being a professional actor, who has influenced you and who has had the biggest impact on your life?
There are so many people that have influenced me. One of my original favorite actors, like who inspired me as a little kid, was Robin Williams. I loved his energy, and I've also like do voices and stuff and different characters. And yeah, he was one of my first inspirations. There was also a guy, and this is a less common answer because I know a lot of people say Robin Williams, so I want to give you a more unique answer too. There was a guy who, his name was, he's not, I don't know if he's on the air anymore yet, but his name was Steve Charney, and he was a ventriloquist, but he had a radio show, which I know like ventriloquism on the radio is such a funny concept, but it was called Knock on Wood, and he did like characters, and obviously he had his dummy named Harry. And I would just listen to the show, and he was a big inspiration to me growing up. And I wrote a letter to him one time because I recorded radio programs in my bedroom, like interview shows, and I didn't have guests like you have, but so I would do the voices myself, and I would do like these different characters. And so like I would just be interviewing like one time I had Julia Childs, and not obviously not the real Julia Childs, but like my imitation of her. And I'd be like, Julia, give us some advice on how to make a good meal. Well, you must always use soy sauce and butter. And Steve Charney was, he was a big influence with me on that. Also on the acting front, I was a big fan of Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, just phenomenal dramatic actor. And as a writer, I'm really influenced by like a lot of poets, like Allen Ginsberg, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, who just recently passed away. Just like very surreal, just poetry, surreal poetry, beat poetry. And for filmmakers, one of my early inspirations was Richard Linklater from Austin, Texas. He did a movie called Waking Life, which is one of my favorite movies. He also, Slacker, I believe, was the name of his first movie. So yeah, he was a early influence of mine.
No, absolutely. For me, why I wanted to be a talk show host, and this is probably one of the questions if you want to write my book. Eric Bischoff, I met him. He was a really nice guy. Bobby Heaton, Gorilla Monsoon, Vince McMahon. So that covers wrestling. And favorite I can speak. Favorite wrestlers I got to meet over the years. But the very first one I got to meet was my hero and idol, Bret the Hitman Hart. Then I got to meet so many of them. They're on so many even men's, Kristen Cage, Velvet Sky, Gail Kim. And I'm thinking, you mentioned Seymour Hoffman. The one movie that comes to mind is absolutely, hands down, Almost Famous.
Yeah.
And Almost Famous had a big impact for the longest time. I wanted to be a personal assistant, a roadie, go on tour. Luckily, that didn't work out, or who knows who I would end up, right?
Oh, wow.
I probably end up in a ditch or something. But Almost Famous had a biggest influence on my life. And then was the talk show. People said to me, when you turn 21 is the most special birthday in your life. How can I go about that? And I'm thinking, well, I have a disability and I'm tired of using it as a crutch. What about turning a current weakness into a strength? And one of the things I wanted for my birthday was to have some famous friends, get to know and hang out with. And I kind of got my birthday list. It took a long time. I mean, yes, I haven't really gone out for a drink or anything, but I have met so many great people. So in a way, this is only the beginning steps. And thanks to you, we are 786 episodes, 2 years away from my goal of 1,000. So knock on wood.
Wow.
So many great episodes are yet to come on the Keith Andrew Network. But for me, it's about saying, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. But the next question I want to ask you is, based on the show, besides me, obviously, have you worked with people with disabilities? And are you willing to work with people with disabilities?
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely am willing. Have I? I'm not sure if I have. I don't think I have. But I'm absolutely open. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram?
I am. I'm on Instagram. It's Ken Holmes. ITS Ken Holmes. I also have my production company is Rain and Neon Productions, and they're also on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm on Twitter too. Ken R. Holmes on there. And I'm on Facebook as well. I have a fan page, my acting fan page, and LinkedIn. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you right now, I will send you a friend request for all of them.
Awesome.
But the first thing I want to ask you about that is, while we're on the subject, there's actually a brand new thing called Cameo. Are you interested in being a part of Cameo? And the second part of that question is social media. With everything that you have, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do these feel like there are opportunities to open up doors for you? Have they opened up doors for you? What is your opinion about that?
I think to answer your second question first, I absolutely do think they open up doors. The way we have pretty much the world at our fingertips right now. It used to be so closed off. Like the possibility to make a movie right now is so easy. I can just pick up my phone and like record something, put it up on YouTube. And the other side to that, the flip side, is there's so much content now, people don't know what to watch. So there is a dark side to that. But on the positive, I do feel like it's a lot easier to get your work out there now than it used to be. That doesn't mean we need to work less hard, because like I said, there's so much content. We have to fight to get it seen. And there's also so much content. There's a lot of good content out there. So we've got to be, extra diligent at making our content the best that it can be. And social media is great. It puts you in contact with all kinds of people from all over the world. I know people I never would have known without social media, because, I live here in New York, which is great. Like, people are from all over the world here, but I still, I don't always, get on a plane and fly out somewhere. So with social media, though, it's like a door to the world.
Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was just going to answer your question about Cameo. I'm not on there personally, but I do use it. I actually used it. I have a web series called Zoom Shorts. And it was born out of this COVID-19 world. I wanted to make a series. This was during quarantine. I wanted to make a series, and it was myself, my father, and our friend, Karen Clommy. And we were just like kind of talking amongst each other through emails, like, how can we make a web series right now? And Karen came up with the idea that we should do monologues, like have actors self-record monologues, and based on scripts that we write, and then they just send us their monologues. We edit them all together. And it was like, of course, yeah, we can absolutely create content right now. So out of that, we started this web series called Zoom Shorts. But I know it seems like I forgot about the Cameo question. I did not. I'm getting to that. A friend of mine who's also an actor was showing me Cameo, and I was just looking at who's on there, and I was like, this is amazing. And so I downloaded it, and we actually only used it once, but we hired an actor, Greg Sestero is his name, and he was in this movie called The Room, which is like famous for being one of the worst movies ever made, or one of the best worst movies ever made, because there are bad movies that nobody cares about. But this is like a movie that people love that's awful. And why do people love it? I don't know. I think it's because it has a lot of heart, and it tries to be good. And you can see that it's trying to be a good movie. So there's something interesting about it. And one of the actors from that movie, I'm actually a fan of the movie, and one of the actors from the movie who I really like, I found him on the site. So we hired him, and he actually checked out Zoom Shorts. He gave us a really nice shout out, and we put it up on the YouTube channel. So I have used Cameo, and I think it's a really cool opportunity.
No, absolutely. And there's also CelebVM as well. They're cheaper in price.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Have you used it?
Well, better. I kind of still am on CelebVM, but truth is, no one knows who the hell I am. But, Cameo, I do use it. And for the longest time, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, that's Instagram. And I'm thinking, there are people on here. So right now I'm working from the bottom up. I'm looking like at the unknown people. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go see if they're on Instagram. I'm going to see if these people are on Twitter. And as I connected with so many other people, I would do the same. And, not going to what, it seems to be working. Now, it's the action about, do videos, I'm trying to think of his freaking name. Floyd Mayweather. He wants $1,000. Hell is that? You know what I can do with $1,000? I can get a brand new pair of glasses. Or I can do so many other things with $1,000. But there's other people. I actually got turned down for my interviews. One of my acquaintances, Amy DeMont, who I really like and admire, she said she just couldn't do my show right now. I asked Mick Foley. He said he didn't want to do it right now. I talked to Kurt Angle. He said, come get back to me in October. I'm talking to the Pink Ranger from Power Ranger Turbo. She said, come back to me at the end of the month. So there are some, yes, you're not going to get yes off the top of your head. Of course, people don't know who you are, if it's scam or whatever. But there's other people. I actually reached out to the guy from, the lead singer from Hermits. And I was like, personally, I don't know. I heard the name. I don't know anything about the music, but I know he's famous. I want him on the show. But, it depends on what you do it for. Yes, you have to walk into a situation saying, I know, no, it's got to be the first words. Or you have to prepare yourself for rejection. But there is that slight chance of maybe you'd be surprised if I'm saying, actually, yes, I would love to work with you. But anyway, Celeb VM, Cameo, they're both really good. But the question I want to ask you, wrapping up, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest first reaction? What made you say yes, and how do you feel now? And would you recommend it to other people?
Oh, I would absolutely recommend it to other people. It's been a blast. I didn't know what to expect. I checked out some of your interviews, and I just I love like the whole tone of the show. So I was just super excited to be on and just to talk with you, have a conversation. I would definitely recommend to all my friends, and I'm really happy that you asked me. I think you asked me once a while back, actually, and I was like working on multiple projects, and I said I think I said I was interested, but like I didn't know when, because I was like always on set. And so I'm so glad that things worked out and we got to do this now.
No, and the honor's on mine. Now I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up our interview segment, the honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. So I say thank you very much.